Hello guys, this is a review of my Seiko 5 Sports reissue. The model number is SRPK17 with the caliber 4R36. So I bought this watch last week and I wore it almost every single day. And yeah, I'm quite happy with the purchase. The watch is a one-to-one, almost a one-to-one reissue of the 1968 first Seiko 5 Sports, and yeah, it's a pretty compact watch. The diameter is 39.5 millimeters, lug to lug 43 millimeters. The thickness is 12.5 millimeters, and the lug width is 20 millimeters. So first of all, the bracelet is pretty rigid and not articulate that well, but if it once resized for the wrist properly, I would say this is not an uncomfortable bracelet at all. So I wore it almost every single day last week, and yeah, this is how it looks like on my 6.7-inch wrist. It's 17 centimeters. So it conforms pretty well to my wrist. If I'm rotating my wrist, not so many gap remains there. So it's a very comfortable bracelet for everyday use. And also it's a pretty solidly built bracelet. And the original 1968 Seiko 5 Sports also is a very similar bracelet. This bar style bracelet with a little cutoff in the middle of the links. So it's a slot style bracelet. And yeah, the thing I don't like about it is the crown action is, however, the crown is like on the original, so it's pretty recessed, and yeah, it looks pretty well, goes pretty well with the styling of the watch. But if you want to use it actually, it's not that good feeling overall. But it's doable to wind it somehow like this. And also the time setting is pretty complicated too. If you pull the crown out to the second position, you can see it's hex, and it's very hard to turn the crown or operate it. Yeah, not that satisfying feeling. Yeah, you can see my example as a German day wheel. So it says Mittwoch. Today is Wednesday, so it's a German day wheel. And if you want to know how the distributors know the day wheels and the serial numbers, on the outer part or shell of the box there is a little G, refers to German, and here is the serial number 10,013, and you can see it's 10,013. The watch came with this periodically correct box, pretty nice box. Like on the original. And yeah, this watch, in my experience, this watch losing 6 seconds every single day constantly, and I say I prefer if a watch gaining time, like this NY0040 Citizen is gaining 6 seconds per day. And I prefer that, but not the end of the world, losing 6 seconds every day. So, and the other dislike is the case back. However, it looks pretty nice, and yeah, it's like on the original 60s style Seikos. It has multiple layers, but yeah, it's not a high quality stamping on this case back. Not sure you can see it, but it's a pretty shallow stamping, and it blurs out in some angles. But from a distance and from most of the angles, it looks decent. And also the other thing is about this case back is it's pretty hard to make it looks clean, or to clean it somehow, because the dirt is stuck between these layers. So it's very hard to clean it up if you have OCD like me. So yeah, these are the negatives, but overall the styling is really outweighs any negatives about this watch. It's a rare model, straight out of the 60s, the end of the 60s. Yeah, I have another Seiko 5, this SNK381, and yeah, it's also a reinterpretation of a 60s watch, the Vietnam War MAC-V SOG field watch. So this is some kind of a reinterpretation of that. And yeah, the main difference is you can see the Seiko logo and the Seiko 5 shield is applied here, while on this newer reissue model you can see it's painted on. Both the Seiko and the Seiko 5 shield is painted on, but it's like on the original, so I can't blame that. And yeah, you see the dial on this Seiko 5 Sports is also not that big compared to the SNK381, which is a more open dial, much more visible than this. This one has multiple layers. The chaptering and everything is drawing your attention to the small dial. So it's it's that era of watches, or a Seiko design language. So yeah, I also have this Doxa from the early 60s. This was my grandfather's everyday watch back then in the 60s and the 70s. You can see it's still running. Maybe I got it serviced or something, but I have the point is I have a lot of these 60s style watches, and I quite like them. So now I have 3 automatics in the collection: the MY0040, the Seiko 5 Sports reissue, and the SNK381. So quite a job wearing them, to keep them wind up once a month at least. And also I have this other Seiko, this vintage 1983 7828 quartz chronograph. Yeah, so I hope I covered everything. Yeah, look at this beautiful coin-edged bezel. And yeah, the bezel action is pretty nice. It's a friction fit bi-directional bezel with an aluminum insert. And yeah, this lume pip is very big, and also the lume is what you expect from a Seiko. So it's already glows. Yeah, pretty nice lume. Yeah, it has these raised markers with lume on top of them, and it's quite similar to what they use on the Pugs, so the 6139s, the first automatic chronographs from the same era, from the late 60s, early 70s. And the case style is also quite similar to those. Yeah. So I'm quite happy with my purchase. I have this lucky number. It's 10,013, and yeah, I'm quite lucky to found this watch. It's pretty rare nowadays, and you could say this is one of the hottest released of the year. So yeah, Seiko really did a great job with this watch. So yeah, okay guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.